Alright, guys, so we are live. So, what is up, guys? It's Mr. T coming at you live from NYC. Welcome back to Convos, our podcast over here at TimTalks. And hey, guys, welcome back to another episode. Now, before I begin, I just want to again shout out to all of you guys for your wonderful support and for helping the podcast and the channel grow in general. Again, it's good, as well to hear from you guys. And it's been awesome and it's been a blast. And not gonna lie, I haven't felt drained just yet. I felt that I still want to keep going. Usually when it comes down to when I'm at this point in my life and, when I reach, like a certain milestone, sometimes, you get that hit where it's like, maybe should I keep going or am I content or those kind of things. But, I realized that I want to keep going. And so, again, your support, all of you guys is just amazing. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you again for everything that you've done to help this channel, this podcast, this meme place grow, and it's unbelievable. All right. But, on to the podcast side of things. So I have something here, which I think, it's going to be a little bit contentious and not going to lie. I'm going to attract some haters or whatever. Right. But this is just my unbiased and unfiltered opinion when it comes down to this topic, and you read the title. So we're centering on religion for today's podcast episode. Now, believe what you believe, have faith in what you have faith in, but it's just gonna be something that I just want to get down to, because you see a lot of, for example, problems going on with religion, and it's in places where it should not be. And in my honest opinion, I respect other people's faith. I believe in my own thing, and other people believe in their own thing as well, and I have that undoubted respect and unadulterated love for other people, regardless of whatever religion, what other people have faith in, what other people believe in, right? But the thing is that you look out at the world today and you see situations where you find that religion is in a place where it shouldn't be. It's literally something that people shouldn't touch base on. It's a person's faith, and it's what a person believes in, right? And I feel as though having respect for that is better than just trying to enforce someone else's beliefs, someone else's will on another person, right? And so you guys know what I mean, right? If you believe in something that counters another person's, again, it doesn't matter, right? Because we all have our own respective beliefs, and they should be untouched. And unless, again, like I say every single podcast episode at this point, if you, for example, are hurting someone else or you're hurting yourself, that's not something that you want to believe in, right? Because there's more to it than just, inflicting pain on yourself or other people, right? When you believe in something, right, it's all about like what you believe wholeheartedly. And if you are okay with it, then that's something wonderful to believe in, right? But to the point where, for example, if you get hurt or someone else gets hurt, there's something you want to rethink about that, right? But again, coming back into religion, again, like I said, this is going to be a very contentious topic, controversial at the very most, because of the fact that, what I'm going to touch base on. And again, I'm going to try and be unbiased. Like I said, I have my own beliefs and I have my own values, and I'm going to try as much as possible not to promote or do anything or that kind of thing, right? And also, on top of that, so I actually invited a guest also, but unfortunately, he was already assigned and he's on active duty, and he's doing some military training. His name is Craig, and he is a wonderful person. I do remember him from way before, and he was actually not just a student, but also he was a coworker of mine. I actually trained him for being a barista at one point, and it was an awesome time to meet him. And he's just this humble and loving person. And don't get me wrong, like I said, he had a lot of things going on in his life, of which he couldn't disclose to me. But he came out strong, and after our little escapade as being baristas, he went ahead and joined the military, and I helped him to assist him with not the induction test. It's just like a preliminary test. It's called the ASVAB. And so what happened was that he had taken the test, and he also received tutoring from me, and then from there we just hit it off. And then now he's assigned in the army. I'm not sure where he's based in. There's some information, like I said, I can't really disclose. I don't know what's up with me and having other people from the military come on board, and sometimes I didn't even know that they were in the military until just recently. So Again, I have my full blown support to all our servicemen out there. Again, they are unbelievably amazing and wonderful. And like I said, they're just people who made the biggest sacrifice. And, we got to respect that, right? Regardless of whatever side, it takes a lot to want to sacrifice your own life for the sake of the duty of the nation, right? So there's just that. So shout outs to him. He wasn't able to come on, but he did leave me this interview that he left about religion. And to be honest, as I was reading this, like I said before, with my friends, there's not always things that are disclosed to me. And when it comes down to having a friend, you don't have every single detail said out loud. You don't know everything about the person, that even if you know them for years, there's just some things in which are private. And like I said with Craig, he's a very good friend. And, just to have read the message that he left for me, just this short interview, just a couple of questions. Like I said, it was just unexpected because when I asked him about faith, and he believes wholeheartedly in his faith, that was at the time. And so you kind of see where I'm going at it with this, right? And actually, this comment, there wasn't just one comment about religion. There was just so many other comments about it, because it's become a major issue now. You look at the government and you see a lot of problems with that. And, I'm not going to delve too much into that because, again, that's other people's opinions. But, I just believe wholeheartedly that there's a reason why we don't put our faith in terms of our decisions, because we're just people, and we're not playing God here, right? We're not there to just want to enforce something just because we believe we're doing divine will or something like that. That's just my opinion. And, it's just all about maintaining that respect and candor, right? But anyway, back over to Craig's interview. I'm gonna take a little breather first. Back to what I was saying. Here's his interview. I got it right here on my other phone. So just to, share you guys what he's got for us. So I'm gonna read it verbatim. Again, I'm literally reading it off of what he put here. And so he left a lot here, and it's amazing as well as to hear his story. And there's just some things as well that he made mention that, like I said, I didn't know. But again, shout outs to him for showing this, right? So again, thank you, Craig. Thank you so much. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna edit that out. I got thirsty. But anyway, so here's what he put. Faith, the highest form of trust anyone could have in someone or something. You see faith in any social environment, whether it be your workplace or in a spiritual environment, such as a church. Faith, however, in a religious aspect is more about, or more than, what it actually is. It's about devoting your full trust onto a higher power, something greater than this universe, the creator of all things, in which people call it God. I grew up in Saipan throughout my whole life, living the Christian way of life. So you guys already hear that. And again, he was unbiased with this response, okay? So, don't go throwing a fit or anything, all right? So coming to church, praising his holy name, praying to him whenever life gets challenging or if trials come our way, praying for his forgiveness for our sins, etc. I do understand that other churches perform and obey their God in various ways, but classify themselves as either a Christian or a Catholic. Both belief systems are different and worship different gods, but what they all have in common is having a form of discipline to remain faithful of a higher being that's greater than us. Throughout my whole time being a Christian, I was taught to devote myself into coming to church early and take duties in the church in order to please our God and our Lord Jesus Christ. Be kind to our fellow brethren, sing his holy name, and to always pray whenever I come across a trial that's beyond my control. Again, like I said, he's really faithful. And again, whenever I'm pointing out these things, again, I'm respecting all religions, and we're both doing that. If you talk to him, he'll respect you, and I will respect you guys as well, okay? So back to what he was saying, my religion is so strict whenever it comes to attendance. If I were to miss one mass, which is to attend church, a fellow brethren whom we call an overseer would visit our house and ask us why we did not attend church at this certain day. He or she would then ask us to write an excuse slip about our absence and send it to one of our brethren at a higher position than our overseer. There are times where being in a spiritual community would be good, but at the same time, would you question yourself, will doing all these things have a purpose, right? So this is the thing that surprised me as well, because like I said, I knew him. At the same time, there's just things that he didn't get to share, right? They taught us that if we listen to the people leading the church would make God happy, that you're doing the Lord's work. being obedient to our leaders and our preachers. By leaders, I am not referring to God. Yes, he is our great leader, but at this context, I'm talking about the people who is the head of the church, as in the preacher and the others who work with him. Preachers have the power to easily influence people. All they have to do is read the Bible and say God's name. If you drink alcohol, God would not be pleased and he will punish you for that, etc. So again, let's be honest, guys, we've heard those responses before, regardless of whatever religion, right? Preachers have, at a later point of my life, I have left my religion. Then comes the 2 years of not going into church. I've learned so much in life compared to when I was still a Christian. I was so devoted into my church that has hindered me to do bad things, which also hindered me to learn more things in life. Because this discipline has kept me safe from all the negative behaviors and consequences. But actually, there are times when you need to go through these bad actions to learn more about yourself and to familiarize the situation in which you are in. Being outside of my church has given me a new perspective in life, a better understanding of how the world works. Now, not everyone is a good person in this world. There are times where you have to be the bad guy in order to save yourselves or to save others. After all, we all sin, don't we? Being in a church has its strengths and flaws. It made me a stern person and who makes better choices and doesn't easily fall under peer pressure by others. I use prayers as a way to cope with stress and to have faith on something when I don't have faith in anybody else. I don't pray to my God to solve my problems for me, but instead I pray that he helps to solve my own problems. I pray that he correctly guides me onto the right path every day and to bless me the endurance to go through life 24/7. To this day, I still pray unto him, even though when I am no longer as an active Christian. I do not attend church anymore, but every rite I still pray to his name. This shows how much my church has impacted me. And he left here a note for me. I hope this answers your question. Tim, I apologize if I went off topic because I was so immersed. LOL. And he left this message for you guys. And this is what hit me in the heart because, like I said, it's still amazing what he does. He said here, to all of you guys, to all the audience out there, I do also want to add that if religion does not work for you, but you still need someone to believe in, have faith in yourself. You're the only person who can move yourself into all kinds of things. Believe that you will succeed in life. Believe that you live healthy and be with those that make you happy. Believe that you will learn from your mistakes and improve on your strengths and weaknesses. End of quote. So, again, I hope you guys, I can't really type all that because it was just such a lot. And, to be able to edit all of that, like I said, it's just, I might make a mistake. So again, I hope you guys were able to hear that. And so, just listening to all of that, again, how do you guys feel just by hearing what my friend Craig had to say? And like you said, he's currently in the U.S. Army and he's been working overtime just trying to, get his stuff together. And again, he's amazing. If you meet him in real life, I swear you'll understand what I mean if you get the chance. But, like I said, if he comes on at some point, again, it'd be awesome to have him over here. But for now, he left you these awesome words. So, before we get into any of that, I just want us to take a little break. I want us to go ahead and take a listen over on the radio and listen to the OST that I got. Again, shout out to Vlog No Copyright Music for what they do best, and for allowing me to use their awesome soundtracks. Again, these artists are unbelievable, and I wish I could meet them in person. But for now, let's just go ahead and appreciate what they got. And I'll let you all digest all of that. But for now, take a listen. Alright, guys, we are back. So I hope you guys enjoyed that soundtrack. I hope you guys enjoy what we got on the radio. Again, if you want to check out where you can find that song, again, you can always check the link in the description. You'll find Vlog No Copyright Music. Again, an amazing group, and they bring together this collection of all these wonderful and talented singers and performers. And again, these musicians, they're amazing. And so I'm gonna shout out them every single time. But hey guys, so welcome back. And so, I hope you had some time as well to, digest what had been going on with Craig. And, like he said, and as well as if I brought up any figures that, pertain to a certain religion, again, this is just an interview, and this is what he had wholeheartedly believed in. But, back to what his response was. So again, I'm not going to point out which religion. It's just, he believes in Christianity. And so, with him, like I said, I don't want to point out any specific denomination because that's not how we roll here. But as he mentioned as well, he believed in God wholeheartedly. And to this day, he still believes wholeheartedly in him and that there are bigger forces at play. And, he prays and he worships. And he had, back then, when he had the time, he went ahead and devoted his life entirely to the church that he believes in. And so, it was just that I felt as though, when he got into the army and, like he said, he had to see and experience, the bad things in life, right? So, when it comes down to things in life, right, there's always those trials and those challenges that we go through. And it's just, again, it's always disheartening to hear people have to go through that and make their sacrifices. But, then again, this world ain't what it used to be. This world is going to have its own challenges every single time. Every single generation is going to change. And so, it's not that it's unexpected. It's disheartening, but, it's life, right? And we go through it and we come out stronger. And you're like he said, right? So by the time he was, immersed as well into getting into the army, preparing for it and just working towards it, right? And then when you finally got in, being on active duty means that sometimes you won't be able to attend services. And, it does happen as well, especially when you're on active duty. I know a couple of friends of mine who are on active duty and, apart from the sometimes available weekends, for the defense of the nation, for the defense of the United States specifically, that's round the clock. And so, shifts are strict. And, when you're called to duty, it's it's not that it's unexpected. You are expected to go there, right? So again, with Craig, I believe as well, that's what contributed as well to, not being able to attend service. And, it's understandable because what he does is commendable, and just being out there and defending us, and I know this person, and to think that he actually went ahead to do it. Like I said, I don't know how he looks like or is like now, but I know is that he's a much better person now with his life and everything in general, right? So again, when it comes down to his religion, again, with faith, and this is for all of you guys, like I said, I have my own belief, I have my own faith, but I always know as well, like, that other faiths have got to be respected. They just have to. Like, for example, where I am right now in NYC, in Brooklyn specifically, I'm growing in a place where, or not growing up, because I grew up in Saipan, but rather I am adapting to a place where I see many neighborhoods that are predominantly Jewish, right? And so, you know those things, for example, Jews and Christians, things collided and people killed for each other in the past, and I thought that was really ridiculous how people can resort to those kind of violence off of, the beliefs and faiths and, thinking that killing is going to be a solution, Again, unless God really speaks to us or unless we really were there at the time, right? It's not right, it's not humane, because, again, we're not gods. We're not God in general, right? We're not that entity, we're not that being, we're not that deity, right? We don't have that capability and we don't have that understanding. People out there, just because they're out there, again, they're not sadists, they're not demons or anything, right? We're just people. And so, I believe as well in how Craig had transitioned, and I think many of us feel that as well. And many people can be hypocritical in saying, the world is becoming paganistic. It's not just that, because, sometimes when the world imbues itself in something divine, religion is divine. whatever religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, we're still worldly people. We're still people, and we're not God. We're not divine, and we don't have that kind of capability. So to say that we're doing will in which, right, that we can do, right, we're doing a certain will, and if it involves killing or violence or terror, or hate or rage and all that BS, right, all that bullshit, where's the faith in that, right? And so, the world, at the same time, while it's becoming quote unquote paganistic, it's also becoming a place where we start to actually listen to each other, right? We just have to respect other people's faiths, and again, there's just been so much violence, and like I said before, I've read up on that, just hearing other people and hearing all the BS that's been happening, and people fighting wars, holy wars, so to speak, and people just trying to fight for their specific beliefs and thinking that they can enforce divine authorities, what do you call that? His enactments, his roles, right? It's not fair, right? Because literally this world, like I literally talk to some of my friends, and some of them are atheists, and I don't see myself killing them, just because they believe that, or they believe in nothing, so to speak, right? Apart from themselves, right? Because, to be honest, that's more realistic, right? Whether you believe in a deity or whether you believe in yourself, that's completely fine, right? If you believe in a deity, make sure that the principles that are guided are true, that we should understand and respect wholeheartedly, right? Those beliefs in being good, right? And whether or not, or for example, if you believe in yourself, right? As long as you're good and you're not hurting yourself or other people, right? Then it's understandable. Because again, sometimes there's just things that we can't really explain. The divine, at the very least, apart from what we have seen that we can touch, but there's just so much that we don't know, right? And so that's why I feel as though with religion, it should be a topic that should stay on its own. It shouldn't delve into worldly things like politics, or it shouldn't delve into like the economy or something like that. There's just so much there at stake, and we can't really imbue something as contentious and as otherworldly as religion into something that shouldn't be the case, right? It's a matter of how we guide ourselves. Religion should be a case where the principles there should be for all people, right? Whatever it is that we do is for all people, right? And so we should abide by that rather than just trying to enforce religion in a way that's impractical and complete in other shies, right? So again, with Craig, like he said, he had believed wholeheartedly, and he attended service, and he devoted his life to the church. He devoted his life to the big man on top, God. And so, like I said, there's just so much that he was devoted to at the time. But, with his career choice and the fact that life has got to keep moving, right? He enrolled in something that, he had to see the darker side of humanity, but for the sake of what's correct, right? Thinking back, sorry, I was thirsty again. Thinking back on what we've been through, World War I, World War II, the Cold War, and all those things, right? All of those, at that point, right, we don't see really the divine just trying to intercede in world wars, right? Worldly wars, when it comes down to wars waged by humans, right? Apart from moving a few pieces, but you don't really see that kind of intercession when it comes down to wars that we started for the time being, right? So again, with the world as well, there's a reason why we're down here, Have you ever thought, for example, for any of you guys out there, young or older, have you ever thought, for example, why were you down here in the first place, right? Why were you put down here just to go through life and, thinking of something that you can't even see, right? So, there's a reason why. It's because sometimes it's just about being a good person, just moving through with life. And then, that feeling of content when, you live life to your best of your ability, you live your life being good to, other people, and that other people can have their way and you respect them, they respect you. Those are the kind of things, right? Like I said, you're put onto this world not knowing who you are at that moment. And whether you believe, for example, you don't even know God when you were born. Or, for example, if you don't believe, you didn't even know yourself, right? So, again, there's just so much, at stake, and there's so much at play that, like I said, there's a reason why we don't know that is because religion and us as people, it's meant to be separate, but it's meant to be respected, right? So I feel that that's the most important thing, right? Religion should be of its own institutions, people should worship where they want to, and people should have that freedom of doing so, right? But it should not be imbued, and these policies should not be enforced in the matter of worldly policy. Our world today is just so hectic that we don't need to add something that's divine into the mix of people who aren't divine. You know, we ain't divine, we ain't angels, and we certainly don't have that capability, right? So how can we put the divine in a way that we can interpret properly when we don't even know ourselves, right? So again, that's the whole point. But most especially, I think Craig had pointed this out truly, and I believe it as well. If there's one thing there is in this world, right? The first thing you have to start off is to believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself that what you're doing, as long as you're not hurting other people or you're not hurting yourself, again, it's for the greater good. Now you're probably thinking, well, Mr. T, what about Craig? He's in the military. Sometimes in those exceptions, right, people have made their choice, whether it be you're on one side or another, right? Again, the choice was there that people made their sacrifice. And so, with that in mind, like I said, when it comes down to the world that we're in, it's always going to be hectic, and there's always going to be choices where it's going to be difficult and it can go against our faiths. But again, it's still allowable because we're still people, right? It's not always good, but there is a reason why it's allowed. And there's a reason why we as people are where we are now, right? And again, if this world was ever evil in the way, we wouldn't have kindness. And I wouldn't have come to NYC, where people had thought it'd be heinous. I can literally talk to another person, and apart from the New York quote-unquote accent and attitude, they're still people, People are still people, and it don't matter, right? It don't matter. Like I said, I've had my fair share of wonderful people, and I had my fair share of Karens. The category Karen, not the name Karen. But, you know what I mean. So, again, just because of whatever, right, doesn't mean that, when all is said and done and whatever we have been through in life, right, it's all about what's in the heart. And like Craig said, believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself, because if you understand yourself, you will understand what more will you want to believe in, right? And again, with religion, it's something that I really feel should not be in policy. It shouldn't be the case where policy is influenced by people who are trying to interpret the divine in a way that they feel, even though they're worldly. Why would you put, literally, if I were to use these terms, why would you put God's power in the hands of a human, right? When everything is done through him and his ability, right? So why would we do that, right? Same thing goes for policy. Why should people be enforcing these policies in which are interpreting divine authority when they themselves are messed up, right? So again, we always have to really think about that. And so, above all, my takeaway of this is that whatever you believe in it because you believe that it is right. In that you're not hurting other people, you're not hurting yourself, and you're working towards the greater good of other people, right? So again, keep that in mind as well. And with religion, again, this is a topic where it should be separate from whatever it is in the world, but it should be respected because people just want to have something that they can believe in, and that is not arguable. That's something that I accept in my heart, and I really feel that other people shouldn't be dictating on other people what it is that they should believe in. Nonsense, right? So again, with religion, please, again, to all of you guys out there, please be respectful. Please be sure of yourself before you go on and enforce principles, because again, you got to be sane, you got to be careful, right, with whatever. You got to be considerate of yourself, in that at the very least you got to stay alive, right, before you go on to just enforcing another's will, even though you don't know yourself, right? I feel most of all that religion, like I said, it should be separate, but you yourself should understand yourself first, right, before you go on to sharing faith. And so with Craig, like you said, that he hasn't been to church often because of his service. Nonetheless, he still has that belief, and he will hold on to it. And he may have seen the darker side of humanity, what would be in the military. We see the darker side of people. But it's these sacrifices worth making that my voice cracked. It's these sacrifices worth making that helps us to understand people. And with other people's beliefs and values, again, they should be respected and only intercede when the time is right. When unless the person is really causing hate and hurt to other people or to himself. It's all about being a good person. That's all that there is in the world. Just be a good person and just, do your best. And whatever's said and done, at least, in your heart that at least you made the right choice, right? At least you made your decisions well, and at least you took the higher road, right? So that is above all what should be done, right? But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Convos. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have been an amazing audience. With regards to this very hard topic that was, so difficult to discuss at one point, and I was even contemplating, like, should I have even done this interview? Because again, with religion, again, it's gonna hurt and it's gonna cause some hate amongst people. And I'm ready for the hate. It's just that I want to leave this with a message for all of you guys that whatever is happening in the world, if you believe in something or believe in yourself, it don't matter. It's all about moving forward. All right. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please check out the description if you want to check out the songs that we use on the radio. If you want to check out, also shout outs to the people who were over here that I left the handle in the description. I want to shout out other people who are talking about the same thing. They're an amazing audience, and you guys are unbelievable. All right. And so, with that in mind as well, if you guys have anything you want to let me know, again, please leave them in the comments. Please go ahead and PM or DM me at my respective social media platforms. Again, it's been awesome to have done this. And, now that I'm at the end, I feel good that at least I tried to be unbiased as much as possible. I respect you all. I love you all. You have been awesome, and you guys have been amazing. All right? So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, share, sub, and much love. This is Mr. T signing off over in NYC. Much love, everyone, and I'll see you at the next episode. All right? Peace.